All right, this is actually a very interesting story happening in the smartphone world right now. Xiaomi is quietly building something big behind the scenes, and if things go the way they are planning, the company might slowly become one of the few phone brands in the world that makes its own processors. And yes, we're talking about the Xiaomi XRING O2. Now, let's break this down in a very simple way. Last year, Xiaomi did something many people didn't expect. They introduced their first in-house flagship chip called the Xiaomi XRING O1. This was Xiaomi saying, we don't always want to depend on other companies for the brain of our phones. Normally, most Android phone companies buy chips from companies like Qualcomm or MediaTek. Those companies make the processors, and phone brands simply put them inside their devices. But a few companies do things differently. Companies like Apple and Samsung Electronics design their own chips. That gives them more control over performance, battery life, and features. Now Xiaomi wants to join that small club. When the XRING O1 launched, it was built using 3nm technology by TSMC, which is one of the best chip manufacturers in the world. And honestly, for a first try, it was impressive. The chip later appeared inside the Xiaomi 15S Pro, and it delivered strong performance. Benchmarks showed a multi-core score above 9,000, which means it was competing with some of the best flagship chips on the market. For a company building its first serious processor, that's not bad at all. But here's where things get interesting. According to the well-known tech leaker Digital Chat Station, Xiaomi is already preparing the next generation of this chip. That chip will likely be called the XRING O2, and it could launch later this year. Now, many people expected Xiaomi to move straight to 2nm technology, because that's where the industry is slowly heading. But based on current information, the XRING O2 will still use a 3nm process. And before you think that's a bad thing, it really isn't. 3nm chips are still extremely powerful. They are faster, more efficient, and better for battery life compared to older chips. The reason Xiaomi might stay on 3nm instead of jumping to 2nm could be because of several things happening in the tech world right now. One big factor is global tech restrictions and supply issues between Chinese companies and Western technology partners. These situations can slow down access to the newest manufacturing processes. So instead of rushing into something risky, Xiaomi may choose to perfect their 3nm design first. And honestly, that's a smart move. Another big detail came from Xiaomi's leadership. During an interview with CNBC, Xiaomi Group President Lu Weibing revealed something very important. He said Xiaomi plans to launch a brand new self-developed mobile processor every single year. That means XRING chips might become a yearly thing, just like how Apple releases a new chip every year for the iPhone. And this shows Xiaomi is thinking long-term. Even Xiaomi founder Lei Jun previously explained that building a processor is not something you perfect immediately. He said it usually takes 3 to 4 years of research and development before everything becomes truly competitive. That's why the first XRING chip was not designed to sell in huge numbers. Instead, it was more like a test, a way to prove the technology works, a way to learn, and a way to build the foundation for the future. But Xiaomi's plan goes further than just smartphones. Reports suggest the company wants to use future XRING chips across many smart devices inside the Xiaomi ecosystem. That could include tablets, wearables, smart home devices, and other connected gadgets. So imagine a future where one Xiaomi chip powers everything: your phone, your tablet, your smartwatch, maybe even your smart home devices. That kind of control allows a company to optimize everything together. Better battery life, better performance, better integration. That's exactly why companies like Apple invest so heavily in their own silicon. And Xiaomi clearly wants to follow a similar path. Now the big question is this: can Xiaomi actually compete with companies that have been designing chips for more than a decade? Right now, it's still early days, but the XRING O1 already proved that Xiaomi is serious about this mission. And if the XRING O2 improves performance, efficiency, and AI processing, then Xiaomi might slowly become one of the biggest new players in the chip industry. Not just a smartphone company, but a technology platform building both hardware and silicon. So yeah, keep an eye on the XRING O2 this year, because this chip might tell us how serious Xiaomi really is about controlling the future of its devices.